Historically, Krishna did appear, yes. But why did he appear? He appeared for the purpose of establishing the goal of life in the hearts of all living beings. Although he is everywhere and he is in everything, still he specially took birth in this world to attract our minds back to his lotus feet, so that we could see him everywhere and in everything, so that we could serve him and love him everywhere and in everything. The real spirit of Janamashtami is to come together, to learn the science of purifying our hearts, so that Krishna will actually appear to us. The fact is, he has appeared in the form of Sri Sri Radhagopinath. Krishna is personally standing before us. Then why is it that when we look at them, our hairs do not stand on end, tears do not flow from our eyes, our heart does not swell and overflow with an incessant volcano of love? It is because we are not seeing Krishna, although he is right there. Theoretically, with our good sentiments, we are accepting, and based on philosophy, that this is God standing before me. But are we actually seeing the full beauty that is being manifested? Are we able to do so? Krishna reveals himself according to how we approach him. According to the attitude of service, devotional service, Krishna reveals himself. We do not approach Krishna for our pleasure. We approach Krishna for his pleasure. To the extent that is our consciousness, to that extent Krishna reveals himself to us. Look at the example of Devaki and Vasudeva. In order to have Krishna as their child, Krishna put them through a situation where they had to suffer the loss of 6 consecutive children, who they were very much, as a mother and father, loving with great care. Sometimes we see how when a mother or father loses a child, even amongst great devotees, there's tears of love that are shed due to the loss of that dear and precious child. Mother Devaki nursed these children 9 months each within her womb, with great expectation of raising, caring for, and loving these children. And each one of them, right before her own eyes, was brutally murdered by Kamsa. But Devaki, she continued to have children. Why? If you knew your child would be killed, would you have another one? Has anyone ever asked why she kept having children? She saw the first one killed, and yet she went and had a second one, knowing it would be killed. She had the second one killed. She saw it with her own eyes, and the third, and the fourth. Do you know what an incredibly agonizing tragedy it was in her life to nurse this child for 9 months and then see it killed? After the 5th child, she went and had another one. Do you think she was having all these children because she could not control her senses and there was no family planning in those days? What do you think? No. She had perfect control of her senses. She was not the slightest bit interested in the pleasures of coming together with a man. She knew the plan of God. She knew that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, would appear as her 8th son. Therefore, as a service to Krishna, she had to have all these children, even though she had to physically, emotionally suffer the loss of these children. Don't think she did not cry and weep. She did. Bhaktas are not hard-hearted people. Bhaktas are very sensitive and soft-hearted people. But she was willing to go through all this pain and agony to prepare the way for Krishna's divine appearance in this world. It was the prophecy and the will of God that the 8th son. So she had to have child after child after child. In other words, she manifested total selflessness, a total giving of herself for the pleasure and the mission and the will of God. Most people approach God, what can you do for me? Most people approach the Guru and the sadhus, what can you do for me? And even when we offer something to Krishna or offer something to the Guru or the sadhu, we're thinking, I will enjoy giving it to you. But Devaki was not at all thinking like this. For the will of Krishna, to serve him, she was willing to selflessly go through what is the most painful conditions of life. If you lose your business, if you lose your reputation, if you lose your home, does that even compare to such a painful condition of life? What do you think? There's nothing more painful. Devaki was willing to willingly accept this pain 6 times consecutively because this was her service to Krishna. Therefore, Devaki exemplified to us what does really Janmashtami mean. Did you ever think of Janmashtami in these terms? We're just thinking of, we will see the Abhishek, then we will have a nice feast at midnight and enjoy. But let us see Janmashtami from the point of view of Devaki. Because it was from her womb that Krishna appeared, and the spirit of Janmashtami is to invite Krishna to appear within our own life, within the womb of our own consciousness. Is it not? In order for Krishna to appear within the womb of our consciousness, we have to become like Devaki. We have to be willing to be the selfless servant of the Lord. This is the meaning of bhakti.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.